Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry and I hope everyone is doing well. I'm glad to be back. Miss Jewel Goddess, I'm not sure what's going on. We've been we're good, but it's just been a lot going on, so we had to take a break. She had a lot going on her side. I have a lot and had a lot going on my side. So we just, for the summer, we just was like, okay, you know. But I'm coming on here today pretty much because I really, really want to talk about something that is heartbreaking, and I need to get this off my chest. So yeah. Uh Today I'm going to be talking about domestic violence. It's maybe a trigger for some. Um, but I also hope that even though this may be a trigger for some, I hope that this is a light bulb and a push for some to get out of the situations that they may be in or that they might be falling into or whatever. So yeah, so I'm gonna be talking about domestic violence today. And I'm gonna start off with a definition of what is domestic violence. So what is domestic violence? Domestic violence is a pattern of behaviors in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Meaning, if y'all having sex in some type of way, however, whatever you want to consider sexual, and yeah, then that's and you are being abused, and I'm going to go into that a little bit further. But if you are being abused, then this would be what domestic violence would be, we call it, defined as. So I'm gonna get into that or whatever. I'm not sure if anyone is like, no, that's not me. It could never be me, because some people may think that domestic violence is all about just the actual act of laying hands on someone, and that's not always the case. And I want to get a give you guys a better understanding of what it is so that you can get the help that you need if you find yourself in a situation like this. So yeah, so here are the types of abuse that are in domestic violence that you should look out for. The first one is physical, which is the hitting, like contact. You have someone is physically harming you, like putting either hands or an object on you in order to hurt you. That's physical. Sexual would be sexual assault, meaning they are not taking no for an answer and they are forcing themselves sexually on you. That's as clean as I could get it, pretty much. Emotional. Emotional would be pretty much playing with your head, like telling you you're nobody, nobody's ever gonna want you. No one, you'll never find nobody like me. You're not pretty, you're not smart, you're not handsome, you're not intelligent. Um, just all you're stupid, just all kinds of crazy stuff that people will put in your head um to lower your self-esteem, to make you second guess who you are, who you truly are. That will be emotional. um Psychological is the same exact thing. It, excuse me, emotional and psychological is pretty much the same thing. So I'm not going to say psychological again because it's all in. I'm not going to say psychological and then try to give a what do you call it, a definition of it. So yeah. Emotional psychological to me, I think, is pretty much the same thing. They're saying things in order to get into your psyche and cause you to think of yourself in a totally different way than what you really are. You start to see yourself not as the person that you really are. You start to see your person as what this person is not telling you that you should be. And then economic would be uh, you have people that are breadwinners in the family, in the household, or in the relationship, or whatever have you. And they use this tactic to say, well, I'm bringing home the bread, I'm paying all the bills, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And since I'm doing that, then you have no choice but to do what I tell you to do. And if you don't, then I'm going to stop providing for you in a sense. Right. And that also is abuse because you should not be treated that way. Like, no. And threats is pretty much I'll bust your and method forehead. I'll do this and I'll do that. And it's just what a person is saying they're going to do just to get you to do what they want you to do. So those are the six types of domestic abuse that are out there that you should look out for. Um, so don't think that, oh, it's only unless someone is laying hands on you. I don't want to get too out of myself because if anybody knows me, they know that I will get my vocabulary is terrible. So, but yeah, so all of these tactics are ways to frighten people, intimidate, terrorize, manipulate, etc. It is what these are the things that you have to look out for. And I don't want no one to keep thinking that if you're going through any of these six things that I just laid out, then we are going to talk about what you can do in order to get out of these types of situations, hopefully unharmed. Okay. And the reason why I'm like, I don't know, because in my head, you guys, I take domestic violence very seriously. I've never been per se in a domestic violence relationship, but I can say that there has been a time or two where I may have been the abuser, and that's not good. And now that I'm getting older and I'm realizing and I'm noticing other people in certain situations, and watching one of my friends lose both two of her daughters over domestic violence, and having family members that were in domestic violence relationships, it's starting to get to me a little bit. And we need to talk about it. We really, really need to talk about it, um, in any way that we can. We need to get um, the information out there as much as possible so that we can, stop this from happening and nip it in the bud. We have here in America, we have so many things in place where you could pretty much get locked up for anything. You understand what I'm saying? And even though this is supposedly the land of the free, but that's a totally different video. But yeah, you can. And these things either should be nipped in the bud or be corrected in some type of way. Or, you know, so that's pretty much what I really want to talk about. And my the question is who is in a domestic violence relationship? Who can be in a domestic violence relationship? Anyone. Anyone, anywhere, doesn't matter. I'm not going to even put a sex on it because it's only in my book, it's only two types of people, male and female. And anyone is a human being in my sense. Like, we're not talking about a cat and a human. We're not talking about Any other thing, we're talking about two human beings. So any human being can be in a domestic violence relationship. Point blank, period. Anyone, I don't care what you label yourself. Okay. So I'm gonna give you some stories first, and then I'm gonna give you some ways that you can, if you are in a situation like this, get yourself out of it. Always, first thing I'm gonna say is this: it's always someone that's willing to help, right? You just gotta know. You just gotta be brave enough to be like, I need this help, and say, and also be stern enough to say, I'm not going back, because a lot of times people that are in domestic violence relationships, they'll leave for a moment, and then the abuser will then whitewash and do all types of things to try to make it seem like, oh, they've changed, and they haven't really done any work to actually change. And when I say what I say by what I mean by doing the work, I mean getting the therapy, um, getting the psychological therapy that you need. You know, these people need these type of things, and I personally feel like people that have these things going on, I don't honestly and truly feel like they need to be in a relationship. Like, I don't get it. I also noticed that like it seemed like women in general are just in a battle. Women, and when I say women, I mean born women, mean with all of the body parts, um, all of the tools, women. And I just feel like we're under attack um, by men, whether it's the ones that consider themselves men or the ones that are transitioning into men. Um, the ones that are transitioning not so much into men, but the ones that are transitioning into women, the men that are transitioning into women. I feel like biological women are under attack in that sense. But I'll get into that a little later or in another video. But domestic violence is, we got to do better. We really got to do better. Us as women, we are under attack by a lot, and we need to do something about it. Like, real talk. So here are some things that I think you should do um, if you were in any one of these situations: physical, sexual, emotional, economic, psychological, or threatening. Um, you should seek help first, immediately. Okay, it's not going to change. It's going to get worse, especially for those who are in physical abuse, and you have those that are in physical abuse, abusive relationships, that their partner will buy them things afterwards. Um, that's not love. Oh, baby, look what I bought you. I'm so sorry. You know, I'll never. They buy these extravagant gifts, like a car, a house, a ring, um, all kind of big things, big bouquet of flowers. You know, they take you out, they do all these things, and then the moment that, God forbid, you say something that they don't like again, and it snaps and it triggers them to be like, oh shit, they don't have control anymore. They're now fighting you again. They're now belittling you. They're now sexually abusing you. They're emotionally abusing you. They're economically abusing you. They're psychologically abusing you. They're threatening you. They're doing all of these things to you the moment you say something. The one thing that I do also want to say is this: you are you are beautiful. You are smart. You are you are able to find someone else that will love you and truly love you for who you are. Don't let no one ever tell you that any different. Okay. You have a lot of men out here that there's women out here too, but I'm speaking right now on the woman side of this domestic violence thing as the as ones who would be the one getting abused. I'm not that person, but I'm speaking on behalf of them. Y'all can find someone else. Don't let these men out here tell you anything different. Don't let these men tell you that, oh, you gotta do this and you gotta do that in order to be a woman. And and you don't necessarily have to be all of those things. Okay. You are who you are. You are who you are because that is who you need to be for this life that you're living. Okay. And if anything you feel needs to change, that should come from within, not from someone outside telling you that you're never going to be nothing and all of this other stuff. Because 9 times out of 10, before you met these people, you probably was doing great. You probably was doing great, or you was on your way to soaring the skies. And all of a sudden you meet this person that probably was like, they was the best thing since sliced bread. And then all of a sudden shit changed. A lot of the times shit start to change when either you move in with them, you have a child with them, or you say you love them. A lot of the times that's what happens. And then all of a sudden they feel like, oh, you mine, I own you. Or they marry, you get married to this person. And shit change. Shit change for the worse, the worse. Soon as you see, I don't care. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just this type of person where I feel like I don't give a shit. And excuse me, I don't give a shit of who you are. If I gotta go, I gotta go. If I gotta leave it, I gotta leave it. Okay. If it's no good for me, it's no good for me. And for therefore, I'm leaving. I can't deal with um domestic violence. I just it's a lot. It's really a lot. And then you have, listen, let me say this. Um, to those of you who have friends and family members that are in these type of relationships as well, give grace, especially if you've been in a situation, one of these situations yourself, and you found your way out. Give grace to those that are in it and show better sympathy and empathy. Okay. Because just because you got out of it and it now doesn't make sense to you how someone could sit there and be like that. Remember, that was you at one time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and don't be like, oh, just don't do that. Okay. I really don't want to get into like detail because I have things going on in my head and there's certain things that I'm dealing with, I'm trying to be there for someone that's trying to be there for someone that's in a domestic violence relationship right now. So it's just like, and listening to this person try to, help this other person in a way is they do them a little is more so I feel like they're kicking them down while they're kicking them while they're down. And don't be that person. If you are supposed to be that a person that's by someone's side who's going through something like this, honestly and truly be there. You understand what I'm saying? With no, oh well, if that was me. Because it's not you. Okay. It's not you. And what this person came to you for is help. Not to be like, oh, how can you let this happen? How can you let that happen? Like, don't stop doing that. Okay. Stop doing that. Give someone, if you're not a person that's able to give this person some type of solution, pass them on to someone else that will. Because y'all and this, oh, how could you do that? Oh, you stupid for this. Like at the end of the day, that's another form of abuse. And what we're trying to do is stop the abuse. So if you're not going to be able to help this person heal, take your hands off of it. Take your hands off of it for real, because this is how I personally feel like a lot of people go back to the abusive relationships, because they have people that they think are supposed to be by their side to help them, but yet they're being very judgmental at the same time, and they're not actually evaluating the situation. They're not. I don't even. They just not. They're not evaluating the situation. I don't. And they're not taking the situation for actually what it is. So if you are that person, stop. Stop, please. You're doing more harm than you are good. Like for real. Okay. And here are some ways that you could get some help. There's an 800 number, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that is 800-799-7233. This is a 24/7 line. You will always have someone on the other line that will be able to help you. Okay. Um, and that's the first step. Seeing, you can call them if you don't have anyone that's actually going to be able to give you the advice and the tools that you need in order to get up out of there. I would greatly recommend that you call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and someone on the other line will be able to provide you with the resources that you need to get out of that situation, if that's what you're really, really wanting to do. Okay. I'm not, listen, if you are in any of these relationships, and I'm laughing because it's better to laugh than to cry sometimes. But if you are in any one of these relationships, please, please, please get help. If you're in an abusive relationship, a physical abusive or a sexual relationship, or if someone is threatening your life, and you honestly and truly believe that um, the threats they will act on those threats, call the police. Okay. Have proof, show proof. If someone is beating on you and you have physical bruises, you have marks, you can see them, and you have to and get out. Please get out. They're not going to stop. They're not going to, especially if they're telling you that if you don't bring your ass back, like say you get out, right? And you leave, and they like, if you don't bring your ass back here, I'm going to kill you. I would say stay going and honestly get the police involved. Get the police involved. You already have physical marks on you, abuse from violence or whatever. You have those already. If you contact the police and somebody that's able to get you up out of that situation, honestly, like in situations like this, you would have to be put in some type of protective custody to get away from that. And if that's not what you want to happen, and you want to stay in this because you honestly and truly feel like, I'll just pray for you. That's all I'm gonna say. I will pray that you know God touches your heart enough to be like, this is not how your life is supposed to be. This is not, love doesn't hurt in that sense. It doesn't. Is not supposed to be that way. No one is supposed to be controlling you and telling you if you don't do this. Like at the end of the day, especially for women, we are not supposed to be under the control of men. I honestly and truly feel that way. And I believe that in my all my being. Women are not supposed to be bowing down to no man. If anything, in my book, I feel that men should be bowing down to women. Men won't be here unless it was for us. Always remember that. Men can't have children. And I personally feel like we put too much on a man to be like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. Because men also have their own situations or whatever the case may be. And men, if you are in situations like this too, please also go get the help. Go get the help. This stuff is out here for you too. Okay. Because there are many women out here that are just out here just putting their hands and doing things to men as well. So don't think that men, you don't have a voice in this. You have rights, you have a voice, you two are beautiful, you two are someone that someone else will love, all of that. Okay. So I don't want men to think that, oh, you're supposed to just sit in silence. Hell no, you don't. Because nobody deserves that. When I say anyone can be a victim of domestic violence, I mean that. Anyone. Anyone means male or female, or whatever you want to call yourself. That is a human being. Okay. Anyone, meaning a person. So I want y'all to get that help. Again, that telephone number is 800-799-7233. Okay. You can go on there or you can text. You can text SMART to 88788. So that's text SMART to 88788 as well. You know, also, if you are in one of these, especially a physical or sexual or with the threats, if you are in any one of these um, types of relationships, keep what you are going to do, especially if you are planning on leaving, to yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm leaving you and this, that. Don't do it. You're causing fuel to the fire. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Plan your escape, but plan it in a way that no one, don't tell everyone, yeah, I'm gonna leave this person. I'm gonna leave this person. They don't know. I'm tired of this. Move in silence. Move in silence, please. Move in silence. Contact the police if you can. Contact your family members that are willing to not speak about your business to other people that will then tell the perpetrator where you are. Make sure you have someone that is not going to fold under pressure to be able to protect you. And that's pretty much a lot of the problems too. People are not helping with protection in this domestic violence thing. You have people that don't, that say, you know, I'm gonna just mind my business. I get it. I get the mind my business people, but then again, I don't get the mind my business people. Just like I don't get the, oh, you can't tell my child what to do type of people, but then want someone to help you with your child. I don't get them people. Makes no sense. But just get the help, please. Get the help. Your life is too precious for you to be a victim of something like this. Like again, I say it'll be 2 years come November that my friend lost her two daughters to domestic violence. And her two daughters had children, all because of one man who wanted control, wanted a woman to bow. Because whatever he had going on in his life, in his head, or whatever, he felt like the only way that he can prove that he was a man was to be on this woman and to intimidate her. And then to then take her life and her sister's life together on the same day, and then turning around and being a coward and taking his. So please get the help. If you listen, if you are willing to put someone else's life in danger, if you go run to get help, especially if with a family or friend that you know will have your back. Don't go back, or don't let that person know where that safe haven is. Don't do that. Don't let the person that you are with know every safe haven that you have. Because if they know, then they know, first of all, you're putting so many people in danger. Okay. So we don't want that as well. Keep somebody or something tucked away. Okay. And don't talk your business to people that you know may run and tell your business and put you in more harm's way. These are things that we do not talk about. We just talk about, oh, get out, get out, get out, just leave. It's not that easy all the time, but if you're able to plan your escape and them not know exactly where you are going, and people are not able to just be like, oh, yeah, I saw so and so place. And now they know. Keep your mouth shut while you are doing this. Find the protection that you need, please. Again, National Domestic Violence Hotline, 800-799-7233, or go to your nearest police station. And if you can't do that, go in the bathroom if you have a phone and call. Do that. If you have no other thing to do, call for pizza. Call 911 for pizza. Okay? Thank you so much, y'all, for listening. I'm so glad that I was able to get that off my chest, but I really needed to talk about it because us as women mostly, we are really under attack. We are so under attack. Everyone wants to rule over us. Everyone. Well, men. Men want to rule over us. And people be like, oh, that's not true. All men don't. Yes. Even the ones that are transitioning. And I say that because as they transition, they are trying to eliminate us as women as well. So men just want to rule us. And I say that and I will take that to my grave. So thank you again for watching a Pisces point of view. Hopefully next time you see me, you see Miss Duke Goddess as well. But until then, thank you and have a great one.